Hi everyone, welcome back to this week Weekly Market Update. As usual, let's take a look at what's happening for last week, last Friday, and the coming week, things to watch out for, and also to review certain counters that we have been talking about it for the past few weeks. And definitely apologize that I missed out last week due to not feeling well, but I did update in my Telegram group. That's why I said, if you have not been following me, please remember to subscribe, to follow me on my Telegram group, my YouTube channels as well. So at least I get to, communicate with you guys if my video didn't come out every week. Subsequently, I might do it as a bi-weekly instead. Reason is because I'm actually rushing out for some other stuff. But I hope to stay to do it every week commitment. At least I get you guys updated what is going on in the market itself. Alright, so let's take a look at the coming things to watch out on last week. As we can see that last Friday, Fed Chair Powell, they have some talking about the rate, the inflations, and over this weekends or last Friday and to this weekend, I think they are talking about the debt ceilings. As we know, it always history repeats again. Debts is always hitting the ceilings. I think they will definitely give more margins, more buffer, increase the ceiling debt, and then everything's go back to square one, go back to resume the activity again. So it's just at a mid junction of causing the market to panic, causing the market to cause a lot of uncertainties in between. All right, so as you can see, what is happening Friday lower as the negotiator, halt the debt ceiling talks. I think somehow or rather when they are talking halfway, the negotiation didn't go well. So I think they actually step out and then they continue on over this weekend on the debt negotiations itself, and that causes the market to slightly drop a bit. And also there is a contradict between what is Powell trying to say. The reason he said that, I think he's quite. He said that yes, interest rate may not have to be raised as much as expected to quell the inflations. The reason I think is because of the bank side. If let's say you go and read into this article itself, you have much more explanations. Go ahead if you want to. So a lot of uncertainty because as you can see that he agreed that inflation is at the high side, all right, all-time high, but then he said they may not have to raise the rate as much as possible. So what are they trying to do? Are they going to raise rate? But with what you said, he's not going to raise rate. So it's a bit contradict and a bit of uncertainty. So when we come to that, right, and that causes the market to have slightly pullback. I don't say it's the downside, it's a slightly pullback as we can see from the chart itself. Over the days, right, especially on the Nasdaq side, it has been going higher and higher. So this is why I charted before. Nothing much on the news, pretty quiet. I mean, regards on the debt ceiling, the inflation curves, data next week will be one or two. Nothing much to watch out. So volatility may stay not that high unless they play a lot of games on this debt ceiling. Not approved next week, market will drop, and then approve again, market turn bullish again. Alright, so anyway, we are coming to the end of May. The May sell in May and go away didn't really happen that much. Basically, it go the other way, it go at the upside. So for the chart perspective on Dow Jones itself, right, this is what I mentioned. We are still biased. This is the last date, 30th April. We are still biased on the 1st of April. Since 1st of April, we are still reaching the final resistance of 34.3k. So, however, it seems like market has been hovering below 33.5. 33.5 this red color line, and then right now it's trying to penetrate but close below it. Okay, to be frank, this three line, this wording is written previously. All right, I didn't write it. I didn't write it for this week. I just want to revisit and see how does these lines performs. Okay, so as you can see, 1st of April resistance is 33,500. So right now this 33,500 remains strongly as the resistance as well. Only after it successfully break through, then we will revisit the 34,000. But to me, if let's say the debt ceiling is really the uncertain, temporarily it will cause some fluctuations, some downside, as we can see from the VIX perspective, right? VIX is like ticking higher. Okay, so this is the daily chart. As I always mention, $15 is the last defense line. $20 is always the neutral zone that the price will try to bounce between that. So right now it seems like it didn't go below this level. All right, it didn't go below this level, and if let's say you look at RSI indicator itself, right, it's actually tick higher on this sideways market. All right, so here is here and this here is here. Okay, so you try to tick higher. So if let's say VIX go up, we may see some downside on the index itself. All right, so that is my view for coming weeks. Just to watch out. Volatility may not be huge, but it may suddenly spike if the talk turns sour on the debt ceiling. Alright, if the talk turns sour on the debt ceiling. So let me do some write up lah. Otherwise, I also don't know what did I spoke. So 20th May 2023, debt ceiling. Alright, turn sour, may spike VIX upward in terms of downside for indices. Okay, so this is what we wrote, and then we will revisit once again. Okay, so next go to Nasdaq. For Nasdaq wise, remember since 30 April, I say I'm on the bullish side. This arrow is here. All right, this arrow is here. It's right now way higher. Okay, so revisit sometimes is a good thing. Okay, revisit sometimes is a good thing. Let's take a look. Let's close the RSI. Close. Okay, so this is what I mentioned previously. Arrow came in play. Right now we can delete or we move even higher. Okay, so where are we looking at? To be frank, if let's say you based on FIBO, I'm actually looking at the next resistance of near 14,000 now. Alright, near 14,000. Okay, a round figure, which is the 38.2% Fibonacci level. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at, 14,000. But to be next thing to watch out for is because it just recently break the resistance. Can you see? It just recently break the resistance. Everyone is eyeing here as a resistance itself. Penetrate through is a good sign. Alright, but most of the tech counter is actually at the overbought, especially on Nasdaq itself. If let's say you get more Google, turn on all the indicator, you can see you are actually at the overbought situation. Okay, so this range is actually a very hot range. What do I mean by hot range? That means everyone is looking at it. If it successfully penetrate 14,000, market is very strong, to be frank. Eventually, compared to the three indices, as I mentioned, the DAX is always at a strong side. Okay, as long as the Fed cut the rate, not going to increase the rate, increase lesser the rate, three things will definitely push it higher. Okay, because that is sensitive to the debt itself, right? But since most of the counter is actually at the overbought, we worry one thing, which is the profit taking. All right, so 20th May 2023, first worry, okay, which is profit taking. Okay, so may cause some downside. Okay, so this is what we are looking at. This is the first worry. Second, hitting recent resistance level. Okay, otherwise, first target 14k. Second, break above next FIBO level. Okay, which I don't mention. So we look at 14k first. So if there's any update, I will then write into the Telegram group. Let me put somewhere. Okay, this was just put here, and then this was just put here. Okay, so this is what we are looking at for the coming weeks on Nasdaq itself. Okay, so let's go into next things we will be looking at. Revisit circle counter, MU. MU is actually one of the counter which I mentioned in my Telegram group as well. This is since 30 April. I give some game plan. This is for private group, but since it has been over, so I just want to point it out. So if anyone who actually capture it, we actually hit our first target level, which is the 67.50 cents, and last closing is at around $68. So we actually have two game play to breakout level play. But nevertheless, if let's say game plan 2 will definitely did not hit the stop out level. Okay, so game plan 2 is usually the pullback, and then we buy at a cheaper price, and then we rush out lah. So this is for micro tech, as we can see what is happening to the tech sector like Nvidia, AMD, MU. Alright, so for AMD is also another counter we will be watching out. I have also point out in 30 April, watch out resistance. This I think is a public channel. Alright, I did mention in the public channel, watch out resistance at 100. After the earnings, the price drop back. If you manage to catch it up, you should have some profit by now. Okay, so for people who are actually in AMD, to be frank, chip sector is really very strong, especially when you go and revisit what is happening to Nvidia. But that caused me a break, a pause on the technology sector itself. Okay, because it's actually at an extremely overbought situation, especially for Nvidia. That's why uh, the pullback, the profit taking may be strong enough. Okay, so that is why in my Telegram group, if you have been watching, right, I say that for Nasdaq, we may see some downside. This is the reason, because most of them is actually at the resistance or the overbought level. Second, I wrote that is because when I see here this price is near the resistance level, I can't predict will it penetrate. Correct, I can't predict. But people who see any signal sign of shorting, you can put a resistance here. Definitely you get stop loss. Do bear in mind, when trading, stop loss is very common. Alright, if you can't accept the losses, don't trade. Alright, so right now it break out, we have to revisit. If let's say it form a candle downside or engulfing to what happened of this breakthrough, then the downside may resume. Okay, that's why I say this is actually a very hot zone right now for Nasdaq itself. So do watch out if let's say you are trading on the Nasdaq or the Nasdaq component. All right, next counter is Intel. Is also one of my so-called, I hope to write on it because it's actually at a dirt cheap price. This is actually my game plan. We have some pullback and then we enter in. Right now we are looking, the stop loss is at $28. It's actually at the bottom. So if let's say right now it's hitting the first resistance level, which is the 30th bucks, hopefully by next week we may see more upside. Otherwise, if you break 28, then we may cut it off. Okay, so by right it's a private one, but since I share in the public, if you don't mind, all mean, but remember to do your risk management. All right, everything, do your due diligence. I may not be correct, I may be wrong as well, but I learned to cut. Okay, so next counter, just to revisit as well, is actually a KRE. This is the regional banking. People who pick up, remember I said this one got no stop loss. All right, this is the investment products. This is the investment ETF. All right, 3 checkpoint: check 1, check 2, and check 3. So check 1 hit, check 2 hit, check 3 have not hit. This is actually at $35. Okay, so which I mentioned at 35, you should pick it up. So if you put your limit positions, limit buy position, you should actually hit it at 35. And right now, market close last week is actually at 39.21. Okay, so if you buy at 35, or you look at the first bullet and second bullet, right now at least you are not that far away from losses or from the entry price, right? Because you picked half price of that. But definitely my last defensive line is at 27. If it come, I will load everything. Otherwise, this is my first batch which I go in. Did I load the second batch? I didn't. To be frank, I didn't. All right, why I didn't is because I have too many things on hand. All right, so if let's say you just want to concentrate on 1 or 2 portfolio, by all means, hopefully you catch it on this 35 as your second level. All right, so this is what I mentioned on the KRE. So let's move on. Let me see what else. Okay, things to watch out. Things to watch out. Especially if let's say you are holding stocks like Tiger. Okay, we know that this is Tiger platform, right? This firstly is not a good sign. All right, this is not a good sign. If let's say you hold this portfolio, you may consider to exit when there's a rebound back. Firstly, I believe you guys have Googled and you guys know the deals. Momo, the Futu or the Tiger, China have banned them, from doing business in mainland right now. So without the mainland business, I think it's a downhill for this brokerage, especially compared to Momo. Tiger is not that strong, right? So right now, firstly, it break the major resistance at 2. Definitely the low is actually at $2. Okay, the low is at $2. So if you want, you can still give it the last last hope, last glimpse of hope. $2 is your last defense line. If you break below, just close the eyes, just sell it. And then, because the thing is that usually I love those kind of reversal, we pick at the bottom, there's engulfing, bullish engulfing, but right now it's actually the change in the fundamental. The business is being stopped out. So when you are doing business, like I always give an illustration. If you are selling chicken rice, and then you can't sell chicken rice anymore, you only sell veggie, whatever, the main component is not making money. It's actually a very, very you know downside to the stock itself or to the company itself. All right, so next for Futu, I think their earnings report is reporting soon. All right, the earnings report is reporting soon on the 24th May, so everyone can actually view into it. But this also given another excuse is that people is not dropping so badly because people is hoping on 24th. Okay, so if let's say the 24th the result is not doing well at the price penetrate $28, ugly. All right, it will be ugly. So let me write some 20th May 2023 earnings report. If not showing good sign, or rather good earning, but share price drop and close below 28, we may see more downside. Okay, we may see more downside. So that is the level. So $10, 38 to 28, you may see oil is still quite far apart, but to be frank, market give no mercy. If you wanted to drop, it can be crazily. Okay, so just watch out on your counter if let's say you are holding on Futu. All right, and right now if you look at there is an intermediate downside lah. All right, there's an intermediate downside. That's why this is the support level. All right, so that is for Futu. And Tiger, we can actually write it off. Hopefully it's not in your watch list anymore. Next counter is actually, I think is SIA. I can't remember, did I mention previously lah, 2 weeks ago my video, but if I did mention and you did watch it and you did catch it, congratulations. This is what I mentioned. 6 May 2023, watch out, resistance 645. 645 is this one. Okay, so I'm biased on the upside with 645 as the resistance. SIA, good news, good earnings, good bonus, 6 to 8 months bonus to their stuff, correct or not? As you can see, market open after COVID, which is so many months ago. Business start to pick it up. Everyone can't wait to travel. Have been traveling. Even for me, I'm going traveling as well. Definitely, it actually boosts the good side and the earnings for SIA, and that is why they can pay out huge bonuses for people who stay with them. Okay, so good side. We look at more upside for SIA coming up. Next, things to watch out. PayPal is also actually at the brink of dying, or perhaps dead. Okay, so this is the support level which I mentioned, $69, $80 in between. We can see that last week the market actually closed below or close to $61. All right, close to $61, and the coming week is actually not showing any movement. All right, it's just hovering. All right, not much movement after the deep drawdown or the deep drop. So for PayPal user, I think their company actually stepped in and say that profit margin, operating margin profit is going to cut. That is why resulted them to go even lower. So since it's a break, we will see more downside for PayPal. All right, we will see more downside for PayPal. All right, unless White Horse come in or there's any other news. If not, $45 will be a good first catch. All right, $45 will be a good catch. Okay, let me just write down 20th May 2023. Break below 69 support. All right, which is the 69.75. Okay, to be exact lah. All right, 69.75 support, showing bearish. All right, showing bearish signal. Okay, so next support level is actually at $45. Okay, so this is what we are looking at. So watch out if let's say you're holding on PayPal. Since it's not good, companies say it's not good, then you may want to either cut off your holding positions in PayPal as well. Alright, so that's all for this week really market update. Not going too much. I myself is not fully recovered yet. So if let's say there is any more update, I will then write directly to the Telegram group. Okay, so if you have not joined me on the Telegram group, remember to follow. Otherwise, please go to my Facebook page to like it, to share it, and also to on your bell in the YouTube lah. So wherever I post a video, you guys can watch on it. Okay, so this is what I mean. PRVA break above 30, we will see the next resistor on 32, but PRVA, alright, it didn't break 32. It didn't break the 30 lah, to be frank. Okay, it didn't break the $30. It went up and then it closed below. So if let's say it didn't go up, we will not see 32. So if the market don't go up, it will definitely where you go, either sideways or below, right? So please be a little bit more street smart. If it didn't break up, we should be looking at the downside itself. Alright, so this is how we return usually for the analysis. Alright, so that's all for this week really market update. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Alright, goodbye.